second coach of the morning is Johnnie Harris from Auburn University. Johnnie is beginning her fourth year as the head coach at Auburn. Her coaching career includes 21 years consecutively at an SEC member, current SEC member university, and I'll go through that in just a moment. She began at the Division I level under North Carolina State with Kay Yao, moved to Arkansas, then was at Texas A&M for 5 years with Gary Blair, 8 at Mississippi State with Vic Schaefer, 1 with Vic at Texas, and now at Auburn University. And I have a note here that is an attempt to gather a dinner invitation, because when the team comes to Johnnie's house, the cooking is high demand. The most requested items are the fried ribs and hot water cornbread. So add me to the list, Johnnie. Welcome to the stage, Johnnie Harris, the head women's basketball coach at Auburn University.
Where you go?
Would you like to go to questions? You have an opening comment, or you want to go to questions?
You can go to questions.
Okay, let's go straight to questions. If you have a question, raise your hand, and we'll get a remote mic to you. And please remember to identify yourself and the outlet you represent. Let's start on the far right.
Hey, Coach. Ryan Hennessy, WVTM NBC in Birmingham. We're just talking to your players, talked about, the pressure, but they embrace it. How big is the pressure this year, and how are you guys embracing it this season?
There's always pressure when you want to win, and I think we have a group of players that got a taste of getting to the NCAA tournament, and they want to get back. So they are embracing it. And one of the biggest ways they're embracing it is, I think our leadership is at the best since I've been there. I think our seniors and our juniors are coming in and they're showing the way, they're paving the way. I feel like last year was the first year that I was really able to put my system in, because I had players that really fit what I want to do. And because we have that carryover, it's just making it better. And those kids are showing the new ones what it looked like.
Okay, question on the left side, third row.
Peter Rauderkis from AL.com. Taylor and Dianna earlier were talking about the defensive mentality and kind of the scrappiness of this team. Where does that, defensive identity come from for you guys?
Well, it's ingrained in me. I've been with Vic Schaefer for a long time, for Gary Blair, and that was the staple of what we did. Even back as far as Kay Yao at NC State, like, defense was always important. Even if you can't score, you can defend, you can guard. That's about heart. That's about toughness. So, that's something that we preach every day. So, if you're not a very good scorer, you can impact our team if you get out there and you give me everything you have on defense. And I think our players are very competitive on the defensive end. They have embraced the defensive end, and yeah, that's just what we do.
Okay, next question, second row, and then we're going to go to the far back, the last row in the middle.
Johnnie, Kevin Skarbinski with the SEC blog.
Okay.
Your program has taken step by step each year and improved. I asked Dianna what the next step is, and she says a natty. Is that the kind of confidence you want to hear from your players?
Absolutely. We don't talk about goals as much as we talk about standards, and when you have, when that standard is to be the best that you can be every day, there's no limit to what you can do. And so, yeah, they come in and they watch a lot of film. I called Dianna to check on her the other night, and she was watching film. So, but that's the mindset of some of the leaders that I have in here this year.
Go ahead.
Ike Jones with the War Report. Coach Jay, they already talked about it a little bit, but can you talk a little bit more about the relationship you have with Coach Vic Schaefer now with Texas joining the league?
Yeah, so like you said, my mentor, when I was hired at Texas A&M, honestly, it was to be a recruiter. It was Coach Blair wanted me to go out and get players, get All-Americans, was his word. That's what he wanted. And Absolutely was able to do that, but Vic Schaefer took me under his wing because he knew I wanted more. So I started doing mock scouting reports, and he would grade them like as if he was a teacher. And it started out with a bunch of red marks on it, but then he would come back and I would watch film with him, and I would be on the floor with him when he's putting in his scout. So I was able to learn and pick his brain. He didn't have to do that, but he absolutely did that. It took me under his wing. So, that relationship he's like a brother to me and always will be.
Next question, third row on the end, and then standing up right next.
Johnnie, Ethan Westerman, Whole Hog Sports. Talia Scott had one of her best games last year against you guys. What's it been like to add her into the program? What has she contributed to your team?
It's been amazing, and everybody knows Talia as a scorer, but she's a pretty good defender. I don't know that she has had a practice where she hasn't stepped in and taken a charge. She was committed to getting better on the defensive end when she got on campus, so that's been a really pleasant surprise. So her goal is to become an overall a well-rounded player, and she works really hard. She's one of the hardest workers I have.
Okay, next question.
Coach, good morning. Jonathan Hoppy with WBRC in Birmingham. This has been a rebuild of sorts for this program. You guys made a lot of progress last year with some wins, making it to the tournament. Feels like this program is starting to gain some respect. A, do you feel that way? And B, overall, what have the past couple of years been like sort of getting to where you're at right now?
I feel like we're getting there. As a coach, you always want more. But I do feel like we're getting there. We have to continue to recruit. In this day and age is different with the portal. So you really, you think you know what you're going to have next year, but it's always different. So, I do think that retention is, especially with a program like ours, that retention is very important. And we've been able to do that, and I think that's how you continue to build. When we went to Mississippi State and we had to start over, you didn't have as many, going in, and you didn't have the portal, but you didn't have as many leaving your program. So our first recruiting class, we had 4 seniors. Well, our first recruiting class, by the time they were seniors, they played for a national championship. And then the very next year, we played for a national championship with 4 more seniors that, came in. They, and some of them started, some of them didn't, but they came in. We were able to recruit them, retain them, develop them. And it's harder to do that now, but I think it's really important. It's been important for us to get the players that fit our system. So that's probably been the most difficult, knowing what you have from year in to year out. But being able to go get players that fit your system and that believe and that's bought in to what you want to do has equally been as important.
Raise your hand if you have other questions. Okay, let's go to the second row, and then we're going to go again to the last row in the back.
Johnnie, you put together a really challenging early season road trip. What was the philosophy behind that?
Just getting our team ready. I feel like we have 4 seniors that I feel like is really trying to lead this team. I want to challenge them. I want to be ready when the SEC comes. I know how tough the SEC is, so it's not going to help us to go out and play a cupcake schedule and then, get into that. I don't have that kind of team. I have a team that need to be challenged from day one, and that's what I wanted to do.
Coach, you brought 2 young ladies here today. Talk a little bit about Dianna Gaston and what she brings to the team. And as well, Dianna Collins was a big defensive stalwart for you guys last season. Don't feel like she really got the respect she deserved as a stopper. Talk a little bit about Dianna Collins and what she's going to bring in her second season with you all. Okay,
so I'll start with Dianna. Dianna has been a pleasant surprise. I actually recruited Dianna out of high school. She signed with Mississippi State, and then when we went to Texas, she ended up coming to Texas. So I was able to coach her first year, and when I tell you she has grown up, she has been a pleasant surprise. She's a leader. She's always on the court. She's always doing extra. She's bringing other people in the gym with her. But she has a voice with our players. She's a competitor. She competes every day. Sometimes I have to pull her off the court because she'll stay on the court the whole time. She's running with the guard. She's a post player that can shoot the three. She can shoot the pull-up jumper. She can get to the rim. She has back to the basket post moves. She can face up in the post. So, you talk about a player that I'm really excited about. I think I can create a lot of mismatches with her. I think she's going to explode and really help us a lot in areas that we have not had as far as the inside presence. And Taylon, after the season last year, Taylon is a great defender. She's one of the best defenders that I've had. But after the season, she passed up, she was passing up a lot of shots. So I wanted to make sure that she was a little bit more comfortable on the offensive end. So we changed her shot a little bit, and she got in the gym. She embraced that change. She got in the gym, and she's been shooting the ball. And we did a stat the other day of our live practices when we're going up and down against our scout team, and she's shooting the ball right at 50%. And she's taken a lot of jumpers. So that has added to her game. So I'm really excited. She's guarding more on the perimeter. I'm able to play her more on the perimeter. So I think you'll see a different Taylon, but she's still that tough, physical defender that she was last year.
Other questions? Let's raise your hand. Let's go to the third row in the middle.
Good morning, Coach. Brad Harvey from College Sportscast. I wanted to ask you about the size of the game in the women's game today. Seems like even the guards are bigger. The wings are bigger, and the centers are definitely taller than what they used to be. How does that challenge you, and where does your team fit in with the size of today's women's game?
I do feel like, it challenged me to go out and get bigger players. And I still like small guards too, but it did challenge me to go out and get bigger players. So I do have bigger wings. I have moved Taylon to the three. She'll play a lot of three, a lot of four. Celia at 6'2" is going to play some three. For me, Dianna is playing four, but I'm running guard stuff for her because she has those skill sets. So it's a challenge, but it's fun to be able to create those mismatches with taller, bigger players, more athletic players. That's just where the game is gone. So, I'm embracing it. It's almost like positionless basketball, and I think that's kind of the way women's basketball is going. But you do have some really, really big post players. Now 6'5" is probably average. If you don't have 6'5", then you're probably small. And so we do have a couple of players at that height, as well as Dianna, and we have Yakaya Milton. So we've had to go out and get taller players. But it's really, like I said, it's really important to make sure you have players that fit your system.
Other questions for Coach? If you raise your hand. Okay, let's go to the left side, third row.
Taylon had mentioned that she had been playing some more guard, going into the season. Where have you seen her develop most in that aspect?
Probably her mid-range pull-up jumper, and just the confidence to take it, because she passed up on a lot of those shots last year. Now she's still able to go to the rim, and then her rebounding, because now she's facing the basket a little bit more. She was already a relentless rebounder, but I think that has been enhanced with her, positioning. So, just excited about her overall development. We're still working with her ball handling, but she's becoming more confident with that. She's another big guard that I'll be able to create some mismatches with.
Good time for maybe one more question. Anyone? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, War Eagle.